diba? So kahit introvert ako, na-entice ako sa Sana dahil it helps other people. Kaya dito sa Sana, I am a gold director, ay PPPS. Okay? So I am a multiple travel incentive qualifier, a ₱1 million achiever. Okay? So Sana was introduced to me by, parang mahina yung internet namin ngayon. Okay? So Sana was introduced to me by my then boyfriend, now husband, no? Coach JV Bartolata. 'Di ba yung picture niya, yung picture pa niya sa kasal namin. 'Di ba? Kasi yun lang yung formal photo niya as of the moment. 'Di ba? So it was introduced to me by him because noong 2015 is na-stroke yung papa ko. Okay? So 50-50 na yung papa ko that time. Tapos sabi ng doktor na kung ano yung disability ng papa mo ngayon, hindi na talaga yan mag-cure. So noon is hindi na siya makakapag-walk. He's half blind. Tapos hindi na siya nakakapagsalita. So the only thing na maka-induce siya ng food is through his nose, so NGT. So it's very difficult, 'di ba? So for me, ako yung eldest kasi. Tapos nag-school pa ako that time, so I don't know what to do pa. 'Di ba? So when JV introduced Sana to me, tapos it was enlightening kasi yun din yung nireseta ng doktor sa kanila. Ay sa papa ko. 'Di ba? So 2 to 3 weeks after using the product, my papa was able to go back to work. So imagine, he cannot work, half body paralyzed, 50-50. So imagine my belief towards the products, 'di ba? So it's very deep-rooted talaga yung belief ko sa products because I see it firsthand. I saw it firsthand kasi 'di ba, the development. So parang every time yung mga co-workers ng papa ko nakikita siya, uy, akala ko you will not make it na kasi the last time they saw him sa ICU is marami pa nakakabit sa katawan niya. 'Di ba? So yun. So kung parang if you don't believe in the products so much right now, no, drink it, 'di ba? Bakit? Kasi you will see the difference talaga, 'di ba? So kung gaano ko ka deep rooted yung belief ko sa products, doon din parang hate ko yung business side ng Sana. Bakit? 'Di ba? Kasi yung time na yun is parang uso yung mga networking kasi noon eh. Parang kinikidnap ka kasi daw may birthday, may pakain, may ganyan. Tapos na-invite ako ng 9 times ng isang networking company. Tapos kala ko, ano pa talaga to? Bakit parang paulit-ulit na lang, hindi talaga sa nakaka-understand na ayoko talaga sa ganito. Tapos it's not my personality to talk to other people. Okay? So, hindi ko talaga best suit yung mag-approach to other people, ganito ganyan. So, hindi talaga ako na-entice sa business side niya Sana. Especially, nung time na yon is very busy ni JV. As in, sobrang busy niya. Tapos, kapag nagdi-date kami, yung sinasabi niya sa akin palagi is, parang ma-reach na talaga tayo dito. Dito na talaga tayo yayaman. Bibili tayo ng sasakyan. Ganito, ganyan. Sinasabihan niya ako ng ganyan. Pero nag-share kami ng isang milk tea sa Mr. Donut. Imagine how much yung isang milk tea sa Mr. Donut. It's only 30 pesos. Nag-share pa kami ng isang milk tea. Tapos sasabihan niya ako na, ay, parang ito na talaga yung key para ganito, ganyan. Diba? So I didn't believe talaga sa compensation plan niya Sana that time. For a year after, parang nasa-sense ko na, parang may pera na talaga to siya. Parang nilidate niya ako ng mga mamahal na mga restaurant. Tapos dinala niya ako sa Delecta. Delecta yung favorite restaurant ko kasi parang once a year lang talaga ako makakain dyan kasi sobrang mahal. 'Di ba? Imagine yung favorite ko na bibimbap ribs that time is 200 pesos. Then yung baon ko sa isang araw is 50 pesos lang. So I had to save para lang makait ng ganyan. Pero nililibre niya ako twice a month ng Delecta. So sabi ko, parang may pera na talaga siya dito. Parang totoo na talaga itong yung Sana. Diba? So doon is I did my own research, okay, about the products and about the compensation plan. So no, pero deep down, no, parang doon ako naengganyo sa pagkain, diba? Doon niya ako nadala, diba? Sa pagkain. Kaya sa first year ko sa Sana is parang flower lang talaga ako. Diba? So pa-support lang talaga ako sa jowa ko para hindi kami mag-away. So, sino ba dito yung support na sa jowa para hindi mag-away? Di ba parang, okay, may presentation ako dito, pupunta ako doon, para moral support lang, pero doon ako sa gilid. Di ba? Ganon. Tapos sa second year is humataw na ako kasama niya. diba? So that's why in our third year is we got our first car, which is Kylie, diba? So yung expander namin. Okay? So sa fourth year namin is we became gold directors, diba? So it's the same year that we got qualified sa Japan sa leadership summit, and then the lifestyle incentive na Vietnam. It's the same year, so fourth year namin. Tapos sa fifth year, so we got engaged. Tapos before the lockdown, kasi last year to, so nag-lockdown na nung March, we got to travel sa Japan in January, tapos February sa Vietnam, 'di ba? So at least na-experience pa namin kung gaano ka magbigay ng incentive talaga sa iyo sana. It's very bongga talaga. I'm a foodie, so all the food talaga na gina-give talaga nila, it's na you have to experience it yourself, especially the hotels. May na-experience talaga namin sa Vietnam. The hotel was very, very nice talaga. Tapos we only had to stay there for 3 hours. Imagine, the hotel was very nice. For 3 hours na kami nag-stay kasi we had to go to the cruise. 'Di ba? So parang nagwi-waste lang talaga ng money sa iyo sana if you think about it, 'di ba? Kung maganda lang talaga yung hotel. Tas ganon, 'di ba? Tapos we also had our first lot here in Iligan City. So it's located in Del Carmen, 'di ba? So at very young age we already have a property, 'di ba? So at least man lang before we got married, 'di ba? Is parang we already have a plan already, and it's all because of Yesana. Tapos sa 6th year namin, which is this year, is we got married. We had our dream wedding. 'Di ba? So for those people no, who are in a long-term relationship, 'di ba? Or those who are planning to get married, or ano ba yung dreams nyo and all, kasi we girls, no, parang bata pa lang tayo, may dream wedding na talaga tayo, 'di ba? So see you sana, no, parang na make it happen niya talaga yun, 'di ba? Imagine. And to think is it's in the middle of the pandemic, 'di ba? So a lot of people is nagsa-struggle talaga in the middle of pandemic, pero what did this sana brought to us, 'di ba? It even give us our dream wedding, 'di ba? So now let me ask you, dahil 6 years na ako sa company na to, 'di ba? Sa iyo sana, where do you see yourself in 6 years? 'Di ba? So let me see your chats. 'Di ba? Kasi baka nandito lang kayo kasi nandito yung jowa nyo or yung upline nyo, lagi kayong chinachatan na join ka sa ano na to, sa webinar na to, ganyan. 'Di ba? Ano ba yung gusto nyo marating 6 years from now dito sa iyo sana? 'Di ba? Solid gold income, 'di ba? Si Sir Robert, solid gold income. Si Sir Robert lang ba may dream? 'Di ba? 6 years dito sa iyo sana, or ano ba? 'Di ba? So for us, no, 6 years from now, no, most probably, no, we're already diamond directors, 'di ba? So yun talaga yung super dream talaga namin, 'di ba? To have an option or the freedom to choose anything, 'di ba? So yun. Okay, so whatever your dreams are, baka nahihiya kayo, no, kung ano yung gusto niyo marating dito sa iyo sana, no? So I am rooting for you and praying for you that you will achieve it. 'Di ba? Pero of course, no, before you achieve that, you need to master the presentation sequence. Bakit? 'Di ba? Kasi no, it's very difficult na ilang years ka na dito sa sana, and yet hindi mo pa na-memorize yung sequence, 'di ba? Sa pagpe-present. Okay? So ito yung presentation sequence, so open-minding, and then ABC, and then you need to ABC back the presenter. And then short form, open-minding, part 2. Diba? The open-minding part 2 is done by the presenter na. Diba? Yung part 1 is done by you. Ikaw na may invite. Okay? So next is the presentation proper, and then the first closing, which will be done by the presenter, and then the second closing, which will be done by you. Ikaw na may kliyente. Okay? So kailangan mong ma-memorize yan kasi, for example, if you are new pa sa'yo sana, it does not necessarily mean na si upline na talagang gumagawa sa business mo, because it's your business, no? You need to do your job also, 'di ba? You need to do something also. Okay? So next is there is a criteria for pay. And so for example, yung sa presentation guide kanina, 'di ba? There's a criteria there kung saan ka talaga magfo-focus ng grabe para makapag-pay-in yung kliyente nyo. So 20% of it goes to open-minding and ABC. 'Di ba? We have a separate training for that, 'di ba? Open-minding and ABC. It's very important. Maraming taga Manila na hindi pa talaga nila alam kung paano mag-represent, pero they're very good with ABC and open-minded. Tapos napipiliin yung mga kliyente nila. Bakit? Kasi nag-give nila yung sense of respect dun sa speaker. Okay? So if iniisi nyo lang ang open-minded and ABC, baka yun yung flow kung bakit hindi makapag-pay in yung kliyente nyo. Next is compro and complan. Actually, compro and complan is very easy. It's like nag-represent ka lang sa klase. Parang ganun. If nakagraduate ka ng college, of course, nagtitisis ka. Na-defend mo nga eh. Ano pa ka kung compro and complan lang, paulit-ulit lang yung sinasabi mo. Diba? Parang talaga nag-report. Tama. Diba? So next is mirroring, closing, and follow-up. Okay? So, let me ask you, where do you find yourself struggling the most? Diba? Actually, the closing process is closing, handling objections, and follow-up. Isa lang talaga yan. It's part of the closing process. Pero when we see it kasi, parang handling objections and follow-up is parang ibang topic na yan, Coach, pero they're also part na sa closing. Okay, sa closing is yun yung pagde-decide ng kliyente. Okay, so for example, dyan lumalabas yung mirroring, yung I story nyo, ganyan, diba? Tapos next is handling objections, yung may mga questions sila, Coach, tapos hindi ako marunong mag-answer kaya hindi na ako magre-respond kasi parang natatakot ako sa mga questions nila. Tapos next is follow-up. There are a lot of people that they go through the hassle bitaw na mag-prospecting, mag-invite, mag-present and all, and yet they don't do the follow-up. Parang sayang naman yung effort nyo, di ba? So, where do you find yourself struggling the most dito sa tatlo na to? Di ba? Para doon tayo magfo-focus na major, di ba? Parang hindi alive yung audience natin ngayon. No? Ano bang nangyayari? Dahil ba malapit na yung dinner? Nagugutom na yung mga people? Okay? So sa follow-up, mostly sa follow-up. Okay, no? So, okay, follow-up. Sige, go. Okay, follow-up. Same, follow-up talaga, no? Kaya ako mananaa sa picture. Oh, wow. No? Parang vain talaga si Coach GV. Parang chinuse niyo yung follow-up kasi siya yung nasa picture. Diba? So what are your common fears when closing your client? No, sometimes hindi tayo makaka-close ng deal kasi we are afraid, 'di ba? May fears sa atin. 'Di ba? Pero let me tell you, fears are normal. Especially if this is your first time to be in this industry. 'Di ba? Everything that is new is normal lang talaga na may fear ka. Okay? So what is not normal kasi is when you let fear get the best of you. Diba? Kasi if you live in fear, hindi mo talaga ma-enjoy the other side of it. Diba? So, how do you really close a deal? So, there are qualities kasi on how to close a deal. So, by close, parang first is you need to close yourself, How can you close the deal to other people if ikaw mismo is you have doubts on whatever you are telling your client, diba? So you need to close yourself first. So how will you do that, diba? So you need to have a deep belief sa companies, industry, sa products, and sa team mo, diba? Kasi with conviction ka nagsasalita, diba, about the industry or the products or the company, diba, of course, yung kausap mo hindi talaga magdududa sa'yo, diba? Kasi imagine if someone is offering you something, tapos may question ka sa kanya, tapos hindi niya ma-answer yung question mo, would you consider his or her offer? Di mo most likely hindi. Kasi you have doubts, di ba? Kung kaya niya ba, if hindi niya kaya, how much more ikaw na in-offeran niya? Di ba? So next is, how will you do that? You need to be knowledgeable. Di ba? Very knowledgeable talaga sa company niyo, in your industry. Okay? So, in order to have that deep belief talaga, we are given that BDS, di ba? You need to read that. Kapag may spare time ka lang na read, ganito, ganyan. Kasi yung fear kasi is lumalabas lang siya kapag hindi mo talaga alam kung ano yung sinasabi mo. Di ba? So if you are knowledgeable enough, parang mafe-feel talaga ng kausap mo na eligible ka, di ba? Or trustworthy ka. Okay? So next is you need to have confidence about your self-worth and your dreams. So for example, if you don't have a vision for yourself 5 years from now, dito sa'yo sana, of course, magda-doubt talaga ang people na nakikinig sa'yo. So kung if I ask ka na, where do you see yourself in 5 years dito sa'yo sana, pero wala kang answer, of course, you will have a difficulty to achieve that. Kasi you yourself don't believe it eh. So for example, kami, 6 years from now or 5 years from now, I believe talaga, diamond director na talaga kami. We already given the opportunity talaga to have options in everything. Diba? May vision ka na talaga. Diba? So if your clients see that in you, of course, may entice talaga sila sa vision mo. Okay? So next is identify the decision maker. So for example, no, if couple yung pinapresentan mo, you need to identify sino yung decision maker. So that is much easier kasi hindi na pabalik-balik yung pagsasalita mo. 'Di ba? Kasi parang may dominant talaga sa isang relationship eh. 'Di ba? So next is have good listening skills. Kasi no, if you are in this industry kasi, hindi ka talaga nagsasal lang sa compensation plan, sa products na sana, ganito, ganyan. Parang, you are a problem solver sa existing na problem nila. Okay? You have to have good listening skills para alam mo kung saan mo ipapasok siya sana sa lives nila. Okay? Knows how to pull off an I story relatable to the client. So for example, if you still don't have an I story, no, matitwitch mo lang yan along time, 'di ba? Kapag lagi ka na nagsasalita with your I story para ma-develop siya. Okay? Next is mirroring, 'di ba? So what is mirroring, 'di ba? So you need to master the art of mirroring. So what is mirroring the eye, 'di ba? So it is a way to develop rapport with the client. Because sometimes no, especially kung hindi ikaw yung nag-invite ng client, tapos yung downline mo, tapos ikaw yung magsasalita, of course no, you as the presenter, parang mag-build ka pa ng rapport between the client and you. 'Di ba? So kapag friend-friend ka pa, mag-check ka pa, it's like parang nag-work siya. For example, nag-work siya sa Pilmico, you need to find someone na connected sa'yo na nag-work din sa Pilmico para ma-at-ease siya kasi may connection na kayo. 'Di ba? That's why it's very important to have mirroring kasi may ma-relatan siya sa'yo. Okay? It's a way na ma-feel nila na may ma-relatan sila, that they belong into something, and it gives them motivation to do it also because the person na mirror mo is doing it sana also. So for example, no, ako, I am introvert, I graduated with psychology, tapos I am not very good with people. So what if and I'm a virtual assistant, for example, ganyan yung background ko. What if yung kliyente ko is hindi naman siya connected sa lahat ng background ko, extrovert siya, hindi siya virtual assistant, tapos hindi siya nakagraduate ng psychology. So I need to find someone in the organization na makarelate siya. So for example, if web game developer siya, so I can mirror Coach Ralph sa kanya. 'Di ba? So that kaya ng someone na same ng background ko, so I think kaya ko rin, 'di ba? So that's mirroring. Okay? So here's what you got to do. You need to take advantage of local and national events. So bakit? So that no, how else will you know the stories of your coaches, your mentors, your uplines, 'di ba? Doon lang sa mga events. 'Di ba? There are a lot of inspiring people talaga sa industry natin. We just need to know them. Okay? Para ma-mirror natin sila. So, may instance nga 'di ba na may mga downlines talaga tayo na sobrang talaga yung mirroring and all. Tapos hindi na parang hindi na makakabilieve yung ibang tao kasi over na yung pagka-edify sa'yo, 'di ba? Para ma-mirror lang ng bongga, 'di ba? So next is you need to take selfies and screenshots, 'di ba? So ngayon is naman online, 'di ba? So screenshot. Okay? So my instance nga is it's very important na yung mirroring, 'di ba? Yung sa kasal namin, may dalawang mentors talaga na pumunta doon sa kasal namin, si Mentor Martin tapos si Coach Pia, 'di ba? So may mga downlines kami na nag-gate crash para lang umattend sa kasal, para ma-mirror nila, para maka-selfie sila ni Coach Martin, 'di ba? So ganyan nila na value yung mirroring. Okay? So next is this is the closing process, 'di ba? So you also need to master this art because the faster you master this, the faster your business will grow, 'di ba? So first is you need to build your I story and then leading them to a decision by asking questions. Next is handling objections, setting urgency through smart positioning, and then last is setting next appointment if not on the spot or follow up. Okay, so overall, this is the closing process. So lahat ng closing process will be filled with stories. Okay? So i-feel mo ngayon na hindi man ako marunong mag-build ng mga stories or ano-ano ganyan, ay hindi ako naniniwala sa ganyan. Bakit? 'Di ba? Mostly sa atin is we are living the Mosang life. 'Di ba? What is Mosang life? 'Di ba? Yung mga marites, mga chismosang. 'Di ba? Kapag may new na mga issues and all, mga updated talaga tayo. So it's not true na hindi talaga tayo marunong mag-storytell. 'Di ba? Kasi for example, no, kahit nga sa ngayon sa mga sa barkada namin politics na usually yung topic namin. 'Di ba? So we are on different parties kasi sa politics and also magsa-storytell kami kung bakit ganito, bakit ganyan, 'di ba? It's the word of mouth, 'di ba? So ang nakaganda lang talaga is that it's word of mouth is very effective, 'di ba? So we have that as an advantage kasi network marketers are the highest paid storytellers, 'di ba? Kasi nagso-story lang talaga tayo eh. 'Di ba? And parang nag-story ka lang right now, 1 hour later is may commission ka na, 'di ba? If you're very effective on telling your story. Okay? Kasi mas makaka-relate kasi yung tao sa'yo if you're telling stories than you're stating facts. Okay? So, you need to master that. So, in order to be an effective storyteller, you need to master the art of persuasion, 'di ba? And by persuasion, that is to convince. Okay? To convince people, but not in a level na annoying ka na talaga on convincing. Kasi there are times kasi na kapag desperate ka na to have points and all, mafe-feel talaga ng kliyente mo na desperate ka na. Okay? You need to know kung saan yung kiliti ng kliyente mo. Okay? You need to know that na, okay, dito siya comfortable and all. So dito lang talaga dito lang yung limit ko on convincing him. Okay? So yung tipo maging parang solution ka sa problem niya para mag-join siya sa'yo. Ganon. Okay? So here are the closing concepts on how you handle objections. So first is you need to use the feel, felt, found technique. So you need to relate, okay, with your client. Kasi parang it puts the guest at ease knowing that he or she is, what he or she is feeling is valid. So for example, parang may doubt ako sa ganito, sa ganyan. So you tell him na, I felt that, pero I realized na ganito, ganyan, das okay lang pala, parang ganyan. So you need to relate kung ano yung na-feel niya. Okay? So next is ask clarity and don't try to win. Because sometimes parang may mga kliyente talaga nakakapikon. 'Di ba? Parang may mga side talk talaga sila na parang nakakapikon na talaga pero parang you need to stay calm talaga and don't argue. Okay? Don't argue. Parang dyan lang talaga. Okay? So you don't have to win the conversation. Okay? Next is ask leading questions. So I'll get to that later, and then tell stories because facts tell, stories tell. And then if I would you. So we have an example on that later. Okay? So here is on how you create your iStory. So that para maka-start na kayo on building your own iStory. Sino ba dito yung wala pang iStory? Sino ba dito? 'Di ba? So I see people kasi na para more than 3 months na kasi baka wala pa silang mga iStory. Do you have your own iStory na? Okay, 'di ba? Si Sir Richard, first owner talaga si Sir Richard. Okay, how about the others? Yes, o 'di ba? So those people na may mga iStory na okay, 'di ba? They're building their business na. So those people na parang wala pa, okay, no, you know the drill. You need to start now, 'di ba? Kasi this is the easiest way. Bakit? It's your story. 'Di ba? Walang makaka-twitch diyan kundi kayo lang, 'di ba? So how do you start it? Start creating it. First is start with introducing yourself and what you do. So for example, kanina sinabi ko yung pangalan ko and then what was my job before Yasana. 'Di ba? So what made you land that job? Your plans, aspirations, goals for having your job. 'Di ba? So next is things that made you look for another opportunity. 'Di ba? So yes, may pattern tayo dito. Okay, so next is another opportunity or the things that you were disappointed about your job or the things you're not satisfied about that you wish to change if possible. So for example, if you're working right now, what is the reason na nag-join ka pa sa USANA kahit may work ka na? Diba? What made you join USANA? Okay? So next is then how USANA came and how you were invited. So me, no, yung sa story ko kanina, parang na-introduce yung sana sa akin kasi nagkasakit yung papa ko. Okay? So tell them what was your initial impression when you learned that that you were invited with USANA. Okay? So yung initial reaction ko kanina, I am not good with network marketing kasi I have doubts with myself, ganun, diba? So what are the solid realizations that made you realize to start even when you are in doubt? Okay? So kasi yung flow na to, is makaka-realize talaga yung kliyente na mo, okay. Hindi pala siya nag-start ng ganyan kagaling. Nag-start pala siya sa ganito. Parang from nothing, di ba? From nothing. So dun niya ma-realize. Di ba? So next is leading them to a decision. So once you have established a relatable I story for the guest, now it's time to lead them to a decision. And the best way to do that is to ask questions. Diba? Kasi nahihiya pa yung mga kliyente kapag nasa start pa. Diba? So you need to ask questions. Okay? So first is, what did you like best? Diba? So after the presentation, you ask them, what did you like best? Diba kasi sometimes noon, yung wala pang trainings na ganito, yung ina-ask talaga natin is, ano yung masasabi mo? O, diba? Parang nag-encourage ka na may masabi pa silang mga negative things. But if you ask them, what did you like best? Is parang positive lang talaga. Diba? This keeps it positive. Diba? You can relate to them on what they like. You can tell them what you like also. Diba? So, just keep on building the positive side niyo sana. Okay? Ganyan. So, next is, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not bad at all and 10 being ready to go. How interested are you right now in this opportunity? Diba? Kasi at least you know the status of the client. Okay, if less than 10, so ask them na paano ko ba ask them what you can do to get that number higher. Ganyan, diba? Kasi so that baka may objections pa sila, hindi talaga nila na-understand kaya hindi pa siya umabot sa 10. Diba? So next is based on how, okay, parang nag-jump na yung slides ko. Okay, based on what you've seen, diba? If you were to get started with this company on a part-time basis, approximately how much would you need to earn per month to make this worth your while? Okay, so ask them how much they want to earn. So para ma-feel naman nila na may option sila. Diba? So for example, if your client tells you na, okay na sa akin yung 20,000 pesos. Diba? 20,000 pesos. Diba? Extra money. Okay? So next, if nag-answer na siya sa amount that she wants to get, diba, out of USANA, so we will ask next is how many hours can you commit each week to develop that kind of income so that you'll know how much time they're willing to give. Diba? So for example, if your client is working parang 8 to 5, diba? 8 to 5, I'm working 8 to 5 months so that I'll give 2 hours na lang para 6 to 7, 6, 5, 6, 7, diba? So 2 hours or 6 to 8, ganyan. Diba? Kasi may 1 hour pa na travel para makauwi pa sa kanila. So 2 hours per day. So for example, sa isang week is my Sabbath day naman. So 6 days lang siya mag-extra for USANA. So 2 times 6 or 12 hours na siya per week. Diba? So 12 hours lang yung mabibigay niya. So it's okay. Okay? So next is how many months would you work those kinds of hours in order to develop that kind of income? Diba? So para malaman mo kung how many months na talaga yung limit niya. Diba? Kung how much months yung willing siya na mag-give sa'yo para mag-get niya to 20,000 pesos, which is 12 hours, diba? Every week. Okay? So what if magsabi siya na, 6 months, I think okay na talaga yung 6 months. Baka mag-get ko na talaga yung 20,000 pesos. Diba? So, kailangan mo na ding i-conclude after that question. Diba? So, if I could show you how to develop an income of 20,000 pesos per month, working 12 hours a week over the course of 6 months, would you be ready to get started? Diba? So most likely, of course, na magsasay talaga siya ng yes. Kasi, yung sinasabi mo na numbers dyan, siya yung nag-answer niyan. Diba? Pero of course, if hindi ka mahilig mag-English, no? do it in the best dialect na makaka-relate yung kliyente nyo sa'yo. So for me, no, I have friends kasi na parang bayot-bayot yung dialect na ginagamit talaga namin. So I use that in English talaga para magka-vibe talaga kami, 'di ba? So next is parang if naka-decide na sila na mag-start, okay, 'di ba? Nag-yes na siya sa'yo. Kasi yun yung last answer niya sa'yo, 'di ba? You need to ask them also, just in case you start, ano bang gusto mo? 500 points or 300 points? Bakit 500 and 300 lang? Yung sinasabi ko. Kasi yung 200 points, pang good news na yan. So for example, if hindi na siya nag-respond sa'yo, ay, may good news ako, may 200 points pala na package. O 'di ba, at least ma-lesser yung amount. 'Di ba? Baka mag-go pa sila. Okay? So, parang you need to ask them talaga kasi nag-yes na sila. And then next is, just in case you start, magka-cash ka ba or magka-card? Kasi no, kahit nag-answer na sila ng 500 or 300 points or 200 points, is natatakot ka pa mag-ask if ano yung mode of payment nila. 'Di ba? Kasi parang, kaya I'm invading their privacy. Bakit ba nag-ask pa ako kung cash or credit card? How else would they pay? 'Di ba? Of course, cash or credit card. So you need to ask, 'di ba? Para on the same page talaga kayong dalawa. Okay? Dapat hindi kayo matakot mag-ask. Kasi no, magpipay na naman talaga sila kasi naka-choose na nga sila ng package. 'Di ba? So next is, if I ask you to join right now, what would stop you? So usually, no, dito na lumalabas yung mga objections. Okay? So before we handle the objections, no, there are 3 hidden questions. No, 3 hidden objections. No, ito yung questions na kahit hindi ina-ask ng mga kliyente sa'yo, but you need to answer it regardless. Bakit? Ito yung questions nila sa mind nila. Okay, at the back of their minds, ito talaga yung mga questions. So you need to form a story na ma-answer mo yung 3 questions na to na, can I trust you? Can I do this? Or can you help me? So usually, no, for example, sa story ko, first is, can I trust you? Of course, no, magtatal ako ng story about myself and all. I need to tell a joke, 'di ba? Para if mag-laugh siya sa joke ko, of course, friends na kami. 'Di ba? Kasi may connection na sa kaming dalawa. 'Di ba? So he or she needs to relate to me also. Okay? So can I do this? So for example, I'm not a good speaker, 'di ba? I'm not a good speaker. I'm not good with talking to a lot of people, ganyan. But along the way na pag-develop ko dito sa Usana with the help of my teammates, ganyan is na-develop ako. 'Di ba? Look at me right now. I'm already talking to you or to a lot of people already, 'di ba? So na-develop talaga ako. So it's not a hindrance na wala kang kakilala, hindi ka marunong magsalita, parang ganyan, 'di ba? And can you help me? Of course, no. I will tell her, of course, no, na the support that was given to me when I started Usana, I will give that to him or her also. 'Di ba? The assurance na maka-help talaga ako sa kanya. 'Di ba? So kahit hindi sila mag-ask, dapat this should be part of your closing. Okay? So next is handling objections. Okay, no? So objections are normal, 'di ba? It's very abnormal no, na after ka mag-present is walang questions yung kliyente nyo and all kasi that means hindi siya nag-listen sa'yo. 'Di ba? So objections are normal talaga. It just means no na nagli-listen sila kasi imagine ha, even kahit hindi yun sana yung topic, 'di ba? If you're not interested with the topic is hindi ka magre-respond. Ako ha, if nag-argue tayo, tapos hindi na ako magre-respond sa'yo or isisin lang kita or hindi kita isisin or ganito ganyan, I am not interested na. 'Di ba? So if your client still responds to you, it means na interested siya. May mga doubts lang talaga siya na kailangan mo lang ma-answer. Okay? So the more questions or the more objections, the more likely talaga na interested siya. 'Di ba? And prospect wants to sound smart. 'Di ba? So of course, no. Who wants to sound dumb? 'Di ba? Nobody. Especially no if money matters. 'Di ba? You need to sound an expert, especially if money matters because no one wants to be scammed. 'Di ba? So it's normal. Okay? So the goal is to educate, no? So just always remember the goal is to educate. So don't argue with the guest, no? So be a consultant. Okay? Whatever yung decision na is, you need to be a consultant. Okay? So there is no good or bad experiences, only learning experiences. Okay? So we have our fair share talaga no ng mga bad experiences din dito sa Yusana. Of course, we've been already here in Yusana for 6 years na, diba? It's impossible na hindi kami naka-encounter ng mga difficult people, diba? It's very impossible. So all you have to do talaga is you need to stay calm. Okay? So if the guest is very rude to you, know, that doesn't mean na hindi ka effective in how you talk, not effective on how you delivered your presentation. It just shows na kung what kind of person he or she is. Diba? What if rude lang talaga siya, balag sa normal basis, diba? So it's not you, it's him or her, diba? So don't get discouraged no kapag maka-encounter ka ng mga rude people, diba? Kasi wala sila love silang parents, char lang. Diba? So next is there are objections fall into 2 categories. First is the prospect has limiting beliefs in their abilities, and second is prospect has limiting beliefs in network marketing, which is very normal, diba? So especially network marketing is a new industry pa, parang ina-embrace pa talaga siya sa mga tao. So don't get shocked if the first talaga na impression ng mga clients mo sa'yo is hindi ko man kaya yan. Parang the industry is much different from where I am right now. Ganito. Parang hindi ko talaga siya ma-embrace pa sa ganito. Pero so that your role is to let them understand that this is the emerging business right now. Okay? Na in the near future is mawawala na talaga ng manpower because of the technologies and all. Diba? Parang ni-advertise nyo na as of the moment, diba, with the current happenings sa world. Okay? Diba? Parang other companies are going down yet Yusana is going up. Diba? Kailangan nyo lang talaga mapa-realize sa kanila. Okay, so here are some of the objections, diba? So these objections is parang ito yung na-experience namin na objections, and this is based on my story. Okay, so if you want to use these answers, you need to twist it a little based on your story rin. Okay, because this is part of my story. Baka magre-reply kayo sa mga kliyente nyo, tapos no, i-use nyo yung story ko, hindi sila makaka-relate, diba? So, okay, so first is wala akong pera. I'll think about it and interested but next month pa. But usually, ganyan yung sinasabi ng mga mga guests, diba? Na, I don't have money man yun, oy, or I'll think about it sa or interested ako but next month pa sa mga bonus, mga ganito, ganyan. So, ito yung i-respond nyo. Okay, so I made it sure na hindi ko lang parang sinasabi para ma-screenshot nyo, diba? From word to word, para makapipaste na lang, diba? So, ito yung sasabihin ko. So, I understand, ma'am, sir, when I started Yasana, I had no means to purchase the package, diba? But then I realized that the products were what my dad really needs for him to fasten his recovery. So, pinag-loan ko mama ko. O, diba? So, 6 years after the purchase, my family is protected in terms of health and finances despite of what is happening sa world right now, diba? So if you see yourself, ma'am, sir, now or in the future that you'll be anxious, may it be in terms of health or finances, Yusana would be a great platform to aid that, diba? So, and the earlier that you start, the earlier you start to get the benefits, and then you need to show your plan, diba? So what is plan? Plano nyo sa 3 months, okay? You need to have a plan. The 90 days talaga na, anong plano mo sa 90 days mo? Okay, you need to show that to your client so that they know na parang, okay, parang may roadmap talaga siya na kina-consider kaya may future siya dito. Okay, you need to show your plan. Okay, so next is, I know a lot of people who are not doing Yasana anymore. So for example, nag-build kami ng Yasana dito mostly sa Iligan na. So it's not impossible na may kliyente kami na sinasabihan kami ng ganito na, ay, alam mo, kilala mo si yung, for example, let me borrow names, si GV na lang. Kilala mo yung si GV, nag-Yusana yun, pero nag-stop na. It's not doing Yusana anymore. Parang hindi siya umasenso. Diba? It's not new, diba? I know some of you naka-encounter na kayo ng ganito. Diba? Kasi parang marami na nag-Yusana kasi dito sa Iligan City. But we mostly tell them that, ma'am, sir, I would just like to ask if that person did the platform 100%. Kasi there are a lot of people na nag-Yusana lang sa start na Parang na-reject lang once, nag-stop na, di ba? Or was he or she given support sa team niya? Okay, kasi based on my experience, ma'am, I have great support from my teammates and that made me give my 100% of my effort and so far so good naman, ma'am. Hehe. Di ba? Mag-laugh-laugh ka rin kaya para hindi naman awkward yung conversation nyo. Di ba? So, my answer talaga sa mga ganito. Diba? So next is, what if I can't invite anybody or I don't know a lot of people? So me, my friends, no? So yung friends ko, no, right now are my friends since elementary. Okay na, parang if nag-high school ako, may ma-add lang ng mga 20 people, ganyan. Tapos college, may na-add din na another 20 people. So I don't make friends talaga easily, no? Kasi may mga trust issues, di ba? So ganyan. So I don't have a lot of friends because I am an introvert, di ba? So it's not impossible na may introverts ka rin na mai-invite, di ba? So this is what you tell them, di ba? So you don't have to. Diba? The great part of this platform, you may only know few people, but one of them might know hundreds. Diba? Kasi ako I have my own account. So right now, we're using Coach JV's account, which is yung Gold Director account. But I also have my own account, which is Director yung rank niya. Okay, so Director yun, tapos Master Builder. Yung Master Builder is the EC noon. Okay? So kahit introvert ako, kahit wala akong masyadong friends, I invited one person. One person lang talaga na marami talaga siyang friends. Kasi yung pag-shift ko sa psych is lower year ko siya. I think 2 years lower than me or 1 year ata. Tapos marami siyang organization talaga na gino-join na, nag-Octava siya, na ganito, ganyan. Tapos very friendly. Tapos lagi ko siya nakikita sa Infinity. Hindi ko na, parang ang marami talagang friends ng babaeng to. 'Di ba? Kaya nagpa-evaluate ako sa kanya. 'Di ba? Nag-join siya and then yun, doon nag-start. Nag-master builder ako, nag-director ako, ganito ganyan. But of course, no, inuna pa rin niya yung studies niya kaya nag-stop siya as of the moment. 'Di ba? Nang sana. 'Di ba? Pero imagine one person. 'Di ba? So it's not impossible talaga kahit introvert ka. 'Di ba? So if you only know, 'di ba, na a few people lang. Okay? So who sells the products? 'Di ba? Kasi may mga people talaga, no, especially if they're much older than us, parang gusto nila is tayo yung magsasell ng products. 'Di ba? Kaya nag-aas sila na who sells the products? 'Di ba? Kasi gusto nila marinig na ikaw yung magsasell for them. 'Di ba? So this is what you tell them, all of us, 'di ba? Tayong lahat. Everyone has involvement in the development of new customers. Okay? So next is I can't sell anything. I'm not a salesperson, 'di ba? Parang wala talagang belief sa sarili. 'Di ba? Kasi a lot of people is nahihiya na mag-sell. 'Di ba? Parang nahihiya man ako mag-approach other people kasi I don't like to be rejected. 'Di ba? Ganyan. Pero ito yung sinasabi ko talaga. I used to feel the same way until I began telling people about the products. Kasi nag-start ako sa ganito eh. Kasi 'di ba hindi ako interested talaga sa compensation plan niya sana. Pero yung lumabas na kasi yung papa ko sa hospital, tapos marami talagang people nag-a-ask, ano ba ginagamit ng papa mo? Ano ba talaga ininom niya? Ano ba exercise niya? Bakit ang bilis ng recovery niya? Kaya I formed a story. Diba? I formed a story kung paano siya nag-recover. Tapos of course, no, present siya sana doon. So a lot of people bought the products because of that story. I didn't sell the products. I only told the story and how my papa recovered. Diba? So, yun lang. Next is, I don't want to impose on my friends. Of course, no? Parang, if na-feel mo kasi na there are people kasi na prideful na hindi nila gusto na malaman ng ibang tao na nagsisell sila. Or that na parang nahihiya sila sa friends nila na malaman nila na ay nagsisell ka na ganito, especially if under siya sa isang network marketing industry. 'Di ba? Kasi ayaw nila ng judgment. 'Di ba? That's why they tell us, I don't want to impose on my friends. 'Di ba? So ito yung sinasabi ko, nor do I. 'Di ba? Kasi I surely did not feel that way when my sponsor first approached me. I felt he was doing me a favor by telling me about the opportunity. He did not try to sell me anything, and I hope you don't think I am trying to sell you something right now. 'Di ba? That's why it's very important that when you try to close the deal is you need to tell a lot of stories para hindi talaga ma-feel ng kliyente mo na nagsisell ka sa kanya. 'Diba? Kasi parang nai-impose kasi na parang you need them more than they need you. 'Diba? Parang ganyan. Okay? So next is I don't have time. Usually ganito yung talaga sinasabi. Baka parang nahihiya lang sila mag-reject sa'yo. Ito usually yung reason na I don't have time. But I'm very busy. Nag-work na ako ng 5 to 8 job and then I have another job, a part-time job after that. Diba? So this is what you tell them. I felt the same way until I checked my priorities and realized the things I was spending time on weren't taking me where I wanted to be 5 years down the road. I wanted more, a lot more, and wanted it badly enough to give the extra 10 to 12 hours of my week. Diba? Guys, what is 2 hours every day? So imagine if yung 2 hours na yan na Netflix mo, pwede mo yan ilagay sa pag-iusana mo. Diba? It will make you closer to your dream path. Diba? You need to time management lang talaga. Diba? Next is I don't think it is for me or for us. Diba? So confession time. Confession time. I did not pick your name out of a hat. I thought about you a lot. I know the kind of person you are, that you enjoy helping other people. So that's why we're very guilty na kapag may prospect talaga tayo is sinustalk natin sila sa Facebook or sa social media. So we already know na may dog siya, may boyfriend siya, bago siya nag-break ng boyfriend niya. Alam natin yung background na lupig pa natin ng NBI. Diba? So we already know the kiliti of the person because we already stalked them. Diba? So it's very important talaga we already know the background sa ating clients so that it's much easier na ma-close yung deal kasi may stories ka na mabibuild around it, diba? So next is I have to talk it over to someone else. So for example, yung parents niya, yung spouse niya, girlfriend niya, boyfriend niya. So usually ganyan. So if you don't mind me asking, ma'am, sir, so how would you tell your parents or partner about this? Kasi ano bang Tagalog naman ng kamot? They will try, diba? You will try your very best talaga na to explain kung paano nila sasabihin sa partner, sa parents nila. So of course, no, di talaga magkadimao, diba? Okay, of course, no. Imagine, even us, no, if you're starting yung sana now 1 to 2 months, hindi pa nga tayo nakaka-explain ng straight about the products or the compensation plan about yung sana. How about them na one time lang na narinig, diba? Yung whole presentation. Okay? So, sabihin mo na lang sa kanila na I understand, ma'am, sir, but do you think that they would have the same perspective as yours when you tell that to them? Diba? I feel that it would be more effective if we set an appointment for them to listen for the platform themselves. Diba? It's much easier. Diba? Kasi naman, no, kapag sila na yung masasalita sa parents or sa partner nila, of course, parang they will not relay it clearly talaga. Tapos mas malaki yung percentage na mag-no. Diba? So next is pyramiding or networking ba to? Diba? Usually, kapag ito na talaga yung message na marireceive nyo, parang feel ko hindi nyo na isisin talaga yung chat or text message or i-leave nyo na lang sila hanging. Diba? Parang guilty na talaga kayo kapag ganito na yung question nila. Diba? Kasi feel mo talaga na nasa pyramiding ka. Which is not. You need to study the industry more, diba, on where you're in, no? So what do you mean by pyramiding or networking, ma'am, sir? Yun ba yung nagbabangga-bangga yung mga tao tapos magkakasasakyan kapag bukas? Hindi po ito the same. Our company is based on product movement. Diba? Yasana is based on product movement. It's not the same as other companies, which is recruitment-based. Diba? So, remember what you're selling. So you should be very clear that your prospects are not really focused on the fancy products or the smooth compensation plan, diba? So what they want is a solution to their problems, diba? Or their needs as of the moment, diba? Remember the time when you joined Yusana, diba may pinagdadaanan ka noon kaya ka nag-join ng Yusana. There's something in your life that is lacking. And then you think that Yasana can fill that void, very deep, can fill that void, diba? Kasi you need to understand na each person is different yung needs nila as of the moment. So for example, if may kliyente ka na physiological needs, yung kailangan nila as of the moment, yung shelter, yung food, yung ganito ganyan. So yun yung So dyan mo ipapasok sa Yusana na Yusana can bring food to the table, shelter, better shelter, di ba? Ganda ganyan. So what if safety? Di ba? So for example, sa ilang finances or sa ilang health, as of right now, especially sa pandemic, Yusana can be an example, di ba? Na ma-enhance ang ilang health, ganito. But so you need to be a problem solver to the problems right now. Okay? So at the end of the day kasi, the compensation plan is essentially a vehicle the person will use to solve some of their existing problems. Okay? So you're not selling the products, you're not selling the compensation plan, everything. Okay? You are there para to be an answer to their current problems or their needs, diba? So doon nila ma-realize na, okay, they need Yasana in their lives. Kasi no, imagine kung nag-start ka sa Yasana, no, parang hindi mo talaga ma-realize ka, okay. What if yung sa time namin, yung pinupush ni JV sa amin is the compensation plan. We don't need the compensation plan as of the moment. Diba? We need the products. Kaya pinush niyo yung products, kaya nag-join kami. Kasi that was our need. Diba? Nagets nyo? Diba? This is very important to know the needs of your clients. Okay? So next is setting urgency. So this is giving extra reason why your offer is the right choice, and the right choice is now. Okay? So first is you need to show your plan. You need to know how to build, your plan. So first is smart positioning. So for example, ma'am, if you're going to join right now, no, this is you, diba? This is you. So if may na-talk ako yesterday and she's very interested also, diba? Pero hindi pa siya nag-pay sa akin. Pero if you want to join right now, ma-under yan sa organization mo kasi una ka nag-pay. Ganyan, you need to show that person your plan, di ba? So you can also show her your prospect list. So for example, ma'am, ito yung prospect list ko. If nag-join ka right now, ma'am, marami akong presentations later, tomorrow, the next week, ganito yung mga backgrounds nila, ito karami, 200 people talaga yung gusto kong i-presentan. And then, ma'am, if you will join right now, ma'am, di ba? There's a big possibility na ma-under sila sa'yo. But of course, no, if you will tell that to your client, just make sure that you are really giving that person under, diba? May person talaga siya ma-under sa kanya. Kasi it's very difficult, no, nasa start pa lang sa business niyo is may flaw na, diba? Kasi you didn't make your end of the bargain. Okay? So next is compute the products. No, it's very important, no, na you know the points, how much is the products, what's the use of the products, 'di ba? Kasi what if the client asks you tapos hindi ka pala sure and all, 'di ba? Parang hindi ka credible enough, 'di ba? If hindi mo na master ganyan kasi it's the basics. 'Di ba? Yung products kasi product movement siya sana. Next is promos and bonuses. 'Di ba last time may promos siya sana free shipping. Diba, pwede mo rin ma-advertise yan sa guest mo. Next is shipment of the products. So for example, pwede mo sabihan na, ma'am, if you join right now, mas malaki yung chance na mas earlier mo magamit yung products kasi mas earlier ang shipping. Kasi naman mag-join ka next month, mas later mo pa magamit yung products. Diba? So that is setting urgency. Next is follow-up. Diba? So what I told earlier, no, na parang bini-waste niyo yung time niyo kapag hindi niyo fina-follow up yung guest niyo. Diba? Kasi parang it's a long process talaga para umabot kayo sa end of the presentation tapos hindi mo fina-follow up. Parang bini-waste mo yung time nyo, tapos time ng guest nyo, tapos time ng upline mo, 'di ba? Kasi the money is in the follow-up. No, imagine the hassle talaga, 'di ba? Na para lang ma-invite mo siya. Okay, tapos hindi mo lang i-follow up. So ideally, no, you need to follow up the person 24 to 48 hours within that time. Kasi bakit? Kasi no, yung excitement ng person is between that hours lang. Okay? Kasi after that, malilimutan na niya talaga yung feeling of excitement. Okay? Tapos, baka in that window, if more than 48 hours na or less than is, baka may parang sul-sul, ano bang Tagalog ng sul-sul, di ba? Baka may mga information na magsagap siya na, ay, Yusana, parang di ba? Napaka-bright ng ng partner ko na makapagsabi daw, di ba? Makapagsabi ng mga negative feedbacks about the industry, di ba? It's very hard to to convince the other person do kapag na-brainwash na talaga siya na, ay, walang yumaman dyan, hindi effective yung products, ganito, ganyan. Diba? Kaya the earlier that you follow up, the bigger the chance na mag-join siya. Diba? Kasi fresh pa sa mind niya eh. So next is let them try the product. So for example, if they don't want to join right now, you can tell them na at least naman matry mo yung products. Diba? Because they will come back. Because the products are very effective. Mafa-follow up mo naman again. Diba? Next is setting up the next exposures. Diba? So, actually, most people need multiple exposures before they make a decision. Bakit? Kasi there are still doubts kasi sa head nila eh. Diba? So, they need multiple exposures talaga. So, here are the PIN statistics, no? So 2% joined on the first exposure. So, that is the on-the-spot PIN. Diba? Ang liit ng percentage. So if you feel hindi pa talaga ako nakapag on the spot, parang hindi talaga ako para dito kasi hindi ako nakapag on the spot, kailangan pa i-follow up lahat, hindi pa talaga ako effective in all. Now even the best people siguro it's not on the spot all the time. Even siguro sa mentor not, it's not all the time mag on the spot siya. 'Di ba? So don't pity yourself. Okay? So next is 3% join in the second exposure, 5% join in the third exposure, 10% join on the fourth exposure, and then 30% join on the fifth exposure. Okay, what do you mean by exposure, coach? Yan yung mga events. That doesn't mean na tinatawagan mo siya all the time ka na, uy, ganito, ano ba yung decision mo? That's not, hindi lang yan yung exposures. No, may exposures na yung success Saturdays. Yan, mga stories yan ng mga successful people, diba? Or Monday hustle. Ganyan. Diba? At least, especially if ma-mirror nila yung sarili nila sa mga speakers. Okay? So, next is, if my people na nag-follow up, there's mas malaki yung percentage ng mga people na hindi nagfa-follow up. Diba? Imagine 40% hindi nagfa-follow up, did not follow up. Diba? I feel sad. I feel sad sa mga people na hindi talaga nagpa-follow up. 'Di ba? Sayang. Sinayangan niyo yung mga guest niyo, 'di ba? So next is 25% makes the second contact and then stop. 12% makes the third contact and then stopped. And then 10% makes more than three contacts, 'di ba? So lumiliit talaga yung percentages, 'di ba? Parang madali lang mainip yung mga people, no? 'Di ba? So next is follow-up tips, 'di ba? So first is don't be needy. Kasi mafe-feel talaga ng guest mo na needy ka, 'di ba? You're bringing an opportunity and value to them. So don't come across as needy, 'di ba? Kasi when you're following up someone, always keep in mind that you are going to grow your business with or without them. 'Di ba? Bakit ba? Kapag hindi ba sila nag-join, may stop ka ba na yun? Of course, hindi, 'di ba? So they need to know that na with or without them, mabubloom pa rin yung business mo. 'Di ba? So you're not asking them to join your business, you're presenting an opportunity to them. Dapat yan yung talaga nasa isip mo so that hindi ka maa-afraid mag-invite ng people, mag-present to other people. Kasi you're doing them a favor kasi eh. 'Di ba? Yung sana is a great opportunity. And who else would give them that opportunity? 'Di ba? You're already here. Diba? That's why take it as you are the blessing to them. Okay? Ganyan. So next is stay in control. Never leave it up to them to get back in touch with you. Kasi ito yung wrong namin yung nag-start kami sa sana. Kapag na-follow up kami, yung binibigay namin na number is number namin sa client. Hindi namin kinukuha yung number nila. Which is wrong, di ba? Kasi yung, sige ma'am ha, tawagan mo ako if naka-decide ka na, ganito, ganyan. Tapos wala pala akong number niya. Diba? So very wrong. Diba? We need to have their numbers. Okay? So because that it doesn't, parang hindi mo ma-waste, diba, yung time, diba? Because that just isn't going to happen. Na parang sila yung tatawag sa'yo anytime. Diba? Because people are busy. Diba? Baka may priority pa sila aside sa ino-offer mo sa kanila. Diba? Malilimutan ka talaga. Okay? And always set a specific time for you to follow up with them. So for example, na-present ako ngayon. Hindi pa siya nag-on the spot pay-in. I will tell that person, ma'am, is it okay? Kapag hindi ka pa makakapag-decide ka ron, magfa-follow up ako sa iyo tomorrow, ganito na time. Are you free? At least pag call ko sa kanya, she already knows kung ano yung pakay ko. 'Di ba? Or hindi ako magdadalawang isip mag-call kasi she already knows na magka-call ako. Diba? Kasi sometimes no, mahihiya ka mag-call kasi hindi, parang she will not pick up the call, ganito, ganyan. Diba? It's part of the process. Kaya nga, what if I get stood up? Diba? What if hindi niya, parang, what if she will not pick up the call or hindi siya diba? Dili siya mo abot. Ganito, ganyan. It happens. Diba? And it happens to even the best of the best. Okay? It's normal talaga. It happens talaga. So just be prepared. Diba? Be prepared for people to cancel on you or just not answer the phone. Okay? Bakit? May mga people talaga na ganyan. Diba? Kasi even though no, ano na kayo, nag-set up na 'di ba na specific follow-up na time, ganito ganyan, it's normal. Okay? So ito yung script na i-use nyo. 'Di ba? May script talaga para hindi na kayo ma-bother. Okay? So, hi, anong gagamitin name ko? Hi, Apple na Apple. 'Di ba? Hi, Apple. This is Doy. I hope you're okay. Diba? I never heard back from you. I take it you're not interested in that opportunity or product, which is totally fine. But I just want to make sure we don't waste each other's time. I crossed you off my list, but let me know if you know someone who is open to earning some extra money. Diba? So bakit ganyan? Diba? Parang ma-feel mo kasi if I hope you're okay. So you're concerned to that person. Baka ano na nangyari sa kanya, ganito, ganyan. And also, people hate being crossed off sa mga list. Diba? And they don't like the notion that they are not being considered on something. Diba? And parang nasa-show na parang hindi sila open-minded and things. Diba? Parang hindi nila ma-waste yung time. Diba? So at least may ano na kayo, script. Diba? So, what do you do with people na possible enrollees na, clients with concerns, or consumers and users already? So those possible enrollees, you need to invite them to bridging events. Okay, give updates, encourage them to start ASAP. Okay, so clients with concerns, you need to set one-on-one para naman no na ma-ask mo sila kung ano bang concerns nila, ma-address mo sila, ganito, ganyan, tapos ma-apply mo rin yung mirroring techniques. Diba? Baka may doubts pa sila. Yun. As consumers and users who follow up, ask for feedback regarding the products, initial effects, and detoxification reactions. Send some products information, details, or health articles. No? So actually, closing doesn't stop sa pag-join lang ng person. Okay? Closing never stops. Even na kahit nag-join na yung person, you need to still close that person. Kasi do you ever wonder na kahit nag-join na siya in the middle sa 1 month, nag-run na ng PPPS, hindi lang nakagito, ganyan, is mawawala siya na parang bula. Because hindi pa natapos ang closing doon sa pag-join nila. Closing runs forever talaga para mag-stay ang inyong downlines. Okay? Kasi kahit na nag-join na siya, there's still objections sa kanya. Baka nag-join siya na may questions pa, pero may thrill lang talaga as at that moment na nag-give siya ng money, 'di ba? So the closing never stops, no? So if you right now you're questioning yourself, coach, wala na natitira sa mga downline ko, ganito ganyan. Baka na-stop ka ng pag-close din sa kanila, 'di ba? Parang may doubts pa siguro, ganito ganyan. So that's all, no? In my training na. So thank you everyone. My name is Doy Aragon Bartolata. I'm one of your goal directors and an introvert, 'di ba? Since birth. Pero nandito pa rin. So do we have questions?